Alright guys, we got a video by Cinema Malone, how brain rot lobotomized your favorite fandom. You guys know which fandom this is, Jujutsu Kaisen obviously. The fan base used to be so normal like a couple years back, maybe 2021, 2022. Then all these like lobotomy memes started sprouting and the fan base just became crazy and all that stuff. The memes were getting out of control.
What if I told you there was a language that billions of people spoke worldwide despite being from different continents? A language that may
Let me guess, the I can't read language, right? JJK fans can't read.
surpass Mandarin, Spanish, and English as the most common language on the planet. A language that isn't encoded through any single dictionary, yet everyone from every place can converse with one another using it near flawlessly. That language is memes.
Memes. The DNA of the soul.
Okay.
They shape our world. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. Expose someone to anger long enough, they will learn to hate.
What does it mean?
Bro, low-key, anime memes really have been getting crazy, not even just Jujutsu Kaisen, but after Chainsaw Man manga ended, basically I kept seeing memes and panels of, oh, thank you, Chainsaw Man, and then it's Denji or it's some other anime character being confused, asking like, oh, Chainsaw Man? And then it's like, oh, because you're a man and you're holding a chainsaw, and it's like, what the heck? So, for example, let me try and I saw one with Aaron's mother like what in the jaws of a titan, and basically like I forget the meme. It's like it was like when Pochita ate himself in the manga, but uh, I don't know how to explain it, man. But the memes have been getting crazy.
When millions of people online seem to communicate through these phrases, reaction images, edits, and references that sound completely incomprehensible to outsiders. Well, at first glance, meme culture can look like absolute nonsense. I mean, look at this. To the untrained eye, it looks kind of foolish, but online, memes have become a fast coded language that people can use to express something bigger:
Yeah.
identity.
Bro, the contrast is crazy. This is like a super well edited video and it feels kind of like cinematic in a way, like a movie-ish. But the actual content is insane. It's just about memes and like brain rot lobotomizing, Jujutsu Kaisen.
The definition of a meme, which
Y'all remember this one from JJK? The Naoya Zenin hair flip thing? Bro, I feel so bad for Choso, man, because how do you get beaten up with only one hand? Your opponent's only using one hand and they still beat you up.
was coined in 1976 by author
I
and
can't.
evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins in his book The Selfish Gene, is to quote, describe a unit of cultural information such as ideas,
While I haven't heard of the book, or I don't remember Richard Dawkins that much, I do remember seeing something like this maybe on YouTube, The Selfish Gene.
behaviors, or styles that spreads from person to person through imitation, end quote. While memes are now primarily associated with these commonly used caption images and videos, Dawkins originally intended the term to be something similar to the concept of the gene. That is, a cultural counterpart that would act as a replicator in the context of human culture. And this is an ever changing concept. Memes do so much more than simply make people laugh. In the growing world of social media, memes function as shorthand to instantly communicate complicated feelings or opinions. Often,
Bro, I've also been seeing like a lot of just power scaling between like Jujutsu Kaisen and Invincible. I've seen debates on the animation quality. Apparently, Invincible has 10 times the budget that Jujutsu Kaisen does, but people were saying that Yuta's Sendai Colony was better animated than like recent Invincible episodes, which is crazy. Because I think Invincible has like a budget of 2.5 million. Meanwhile, Sendai Colony only had like 150,000. So that's crazy.
without needing full explanation. Maybe it could be an iconic quote from a piece of media that transforms into a slogan.
Is that okay?
Maybe it's an expression or a gesture that gets picked up by the masses. As a result, the original context behind a meme seems to become increasingly less important.
Oh my god. Side note, but Roblox is so cooked because they're trying to have this whole chat age verification thing. It's just stupid and it's just companies trying to like steal your data. It's so dumb.
Than the meanings that the audience applies to it. It's to the point where you sometimes get this.
And they can't even pretend like they actually care about children because Schlepp already exposed Roblox like a couple months back, and then there were so many David Baszucki memes. Oh my god.
Under some posts when a meme on social media reaches much wider beyond its intended audience.
And just for context, David Baszucki is the CEO of Roblox.
But like a cancer cell that replicates out of control, memes built around obsessive repetition and highly specific references can lead to a subculture of memes that many know as brain rot. Brain rot usually refers to nonsensical, low-quality content that rewards low attention spans and mental exhaustion on social media. Due to addictive algorithms and the constant need for short-term dopamine, there is, weirdly enough, a market for this unconventional media. Skip Toilet, for example, set the world on fire a couple years ago
Not this one, man.
and resulted in deals
This one was so stupid.
to make books, merchandise, and maybe even a movie. What am I reading? According to a study by Dr. Ahmed Youssef and other researchers, brain rot leads to emotional desensitization and cognitive overload, amongst other effects. It is also associated with habits such as doom scrolling and wider social media addiction, which is linked to distress, anxiety, and depression.
Apparently, doom scrolling is actually worse than playing a video game because video games at least require you to use your brain. Doom scrolling just requires you to consume content.
And impairs people's memory and decision making. Basically, all this absurd humor is a response to
Bro, it would be better for you to play Elden Ring than to just watch YouTube and doom scroll at this point.
the digital era, where excessive time spent in these online social circles can lead to cognitive decline, especially in younger generations. That's why Gen Z and Gen Alpha are so in tune with this subculture, all thanks to the junk foodification of social media platforms. Wait, that's not a word. Brain rot's seemingly meaningless nature is a useful example of this phenomenon. It spreads like a wildfire because all this detachment from the original meaning of a meme or piece of media feeds into users' desire to find familiarity and garner attention in increasingly.
Uncle Grandpa fell off hard. Like, it used to be kind of a good, funny show, but it fell off like crazy. Bro, I remember asking, I literally asked my older sister, like, I was asking her how could somebody be your uncle and grandpa at the same time. She just explained everything. I still didn't get it.
Media feeds into users' desire to find familiarity and garner attention in increasingly abstract ways, even if that means your common ground is something that looks absurd to the untrained eye. It's similar to how a child trying to get his parents' attention will, at some point, resort to fussing about or acting up, even if he'll receive negative attention, because to him, attention is attention. In the same way, brain rot feeds upon people's focus to increase engagement. But because this kind of communication rewards immersion, those who understand the nuance of a reference or an image are often the ones who are in that fandom or familiar with the source material. Therefore, these memes can signal membership. If someone understands some context or a reference, then they are tapping into a shared culture where like-minded people with shared interests speak the same language. That's how memes can create a contemporary, if unconventional, sense of community. So what are the implications of brain rot culture on wider media and communities? Well, one of the clearest examples of brain rot memes becoming the default lingo of a fandom is through something called
Jujutsu,
Lobotomy Kaisen, the internet's meme treatment of the manga and anime series Jujutsu Kaisen. Like the name suggests, it's, well, things like this that make you feel like you've been lobotomized.
oh my god. Nah, I'd win. Nah, I'd take, bro, for Kenjaku, the meme would be, nah, I'd take back you know what shots, bro. Oh
Just
my
lost
god.
your mind. In this ecosystem, the series becomes
Bro, Kenjaku is look at this. Kenjaku is actually wild for what he did, and apparently he might have enjoyed it as well.
raw material for endless, repetitive, nonsensical references. See, the series was rapidly picking up in popularity across the world during COVID, largely in part due to Instagram and TikTok. Because the audience skews towards millennials and Gen Zs, aka the people most active on social media,
Honestly, this might be a weird take, but I kind of thought that Chainsaw Man would have been as popular as Jujutsu Kaisen, but honestly, it seems like Jujutsu Kaisen just blows everything out of the water. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen seems like double as popular as Chainsaw Man. It's actually kind of surprising for me.
all these scenes, characters, and expressions get reused and analyzed so often. I chalk it up to the confusing lore. But I guess the long wait times in between seasons caused fans to become crazy and coped using these lobotomized memes and phrases that became something of a second
Yeah, long wait time.
language for fans. For instance, anyone can take their uncommon opinion
Bro, I'm still waiting for Solo Leveling Season 3 and Eminence in Shadows, Lost Shadow movie or whatever. Luckily, at least Classroom of the Elite Season 4 is kind of keeping me chill for now. I think it's on episode 6 so far. Like, for Season 4 of Classroom of the Elite, I believe like about 6 episodes have been released so far.
and push that agenda into the mainstream, almost like propaganda. And what makes these show situations especially interesting is how that meme culture blurs sincerity and
And then we also got weekly One Piece Elbaf arc, which is pretty nice, yeah.
irony. People may be genuinely invested in the story, but they express that investment through exaggerated forms. Maybe something chaotic or abstract, but not all these memes are simply funny. There's also
Was that Hollow Knight Silk Song?
maybe something
Is this Hollow Knight in the corner? Yeah, it looks like it.
chaotic or abstract, but not all these memes are simply funny. There's also room for more
Wait,
chaotic or
JoJo's Part 4 as well? Oh my god. Bro, Part 4 was peak, man.
abstract, but not
What I loved about Part 4 was, I guess, it was just awesome overall, but Kira Yoshikage as a villain really stood out to me because, like, you don't know who random people could be. Like, anybody could be a Kira Yoshikage. You could walk past them randomly on the street and you would never know. It's just scary to think about that.
all these memes are simply funny. There's also room for more serious attachment, like fan edits that could give film editors a run for their money. By filtering the show through these means of communication, the fandom develops their own mutually intelligible dialect that can seep into real life. For example, if I had a nickel that every time blank happened, I have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, that is a meme. And that is something that has become mainstream to the point where people use it in their everyday lives. And it's not just JJK. This is common with a lot of shows. For example, the series is full of these intense, emotional, and often violent moments, which makes it especially easy for the internet to isolate scenes and turn them into endlessly repeatable references. And just like with JJK, certain
One thing I'm wondering is which series is actually more popular. Is it Invincible or Jujutsu Kaisen?
scenes and lines become detached from their original dramatic purpose and reused in exaggerated
I'm assuming it's JJK, maybe? Man, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna just search it up, bro. Honestly, I'm assuming it's Jujutsu Kaisen because of like how much memes there are.
ways. Invincible Brain Rot is a perfect instance of how a fandom reduces complex media into small, unserious memes like "Are you sure?", "Sea salt", "We can be bees", "I made a steak". These dramatic scenes and lines have been memed to the point where watching the original scene is irreparably affected. Just like with Lobotomy Kaizen, this demonstrates that meme culture operates like communication, where users turn
Honestly, Invincible is so popular. I'm thinking I should maybe try and give it a watch or just get into it. But I'll see. I'll see.
the media into a vocabulary for social interaction. In these ways, fandoms tap into the brain rot and wider meme subcultures to spread their interests, which subsequently leads to a growing community. I know, it seems
Honestly, even though I like Battle Shonen, low-key, I kind of feel like Invincible is a little too brutal in like, because bro, I basically saw the meme. I saw the fight of Mark versus Conquest or whatever, where he's like choking Conquest, but Conquest is literally like ripping out the dude's guts, man. Like it's horrible. Um, yeah, it seems a little too brutal. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would like it.
It's like it's not that deep, and memes should just be memes. But this is a bigger pattern. Once we stop treating memes as just humor, you can see how they've played an important part in online communities forming their identity. Yes, it's true that serious, genuine discussion can be pushed
Fire
aside by
cosplays.
repetitive and exaggerated memes, but this doesn't make memes meaningless. It just shows how they work like any other language, each with their own slang and dialects. It includes some people, excludes others, and depends on context and nuance to function. In this case, what looks like nonsense from the outside is actually often still nonsense. But it's also a highly social form of conceptualization on the inside. As chaotic as meme culture may seem, it's a modern example of how the coded language can rapidly change in the digital age, and will continue to do so for years to come.
Damn. Honestly, I expected him to focus a little bit more specifically on Jujutsu Kaisen and, just Lobotomy Kaisen, just based on the title, your favorite fandom. He was referring to JJK. I still didn't mind the video though. It was pretty good. Just went over meme culture and all that. But I did expect it to be more JJK focused, but either way, that's fine. Um I mean, I can't really say if memes are a good or bad thing. Ultimately, I'd say it's good because honestly, it just keeps the fan base entertained, low key. And then also, I there's been so many like viral JJK memes, the now ya hair flip or whatever, and all of that. Like, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't have an issue with memes.